so.
Well, it is 8:30. We'll call the meeting of the Mitchell County Board of Supervisors to order. We have an agenda before us. The only change I would say is that Tom Madden's not coming in today to give us a Valen update. So we can delete that. Item 4.
Under items to note, I'd like to talk a little more about billboard up at Mona.
Okay.
Make a motion to approve this agenda with the changes.
Second?
Motion and a second to approve the agenda with the changes. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried. Item 2, meet with Tim Hejhal.
Hejhal.
Hejhal. I'll get it right one of these years.
I'm here to just talk a little bit about the program we've been doing at Osage the last 5 years called Prime for Life. We've got Jody Gertz, she's our health visit teacher that kind of does this with our kids, along with Jay Pedley, who with
Very Ridge.
Very rich. Anyway, and I've got a couple students here. Basically, the last 5 years, Osage has been doing this program. We think it's been very beneficial. Riceville started, I think, 2 years ago, and we're here to kind of ask for support and maybe some funding for that. In the past, Mitchell County Substance Abuse Coalition has kind of paid that through a grant. I think it's a state grant / county grant, and I think from a funding standpoint, the school is asking kind of some support from the county. So with that, maybe I'm going to have Ms. Gertz talk a little bit about the program, maybe a couple of kids just kind of mention some of the things they benefited from, and then we'll kind of go from there.
Okay.
Yeah, Jay comes in, and basically it's the program that any OWI offenders have to go through to like get their license back. And so he comes in and he presents that program to all the freshmen. And I love it because it just gives the kids a different perspective to look at, as opposed to us just saying, don't drink alcohol, don't do drugs, this is what it's going to do to your body, you know, it's going to cause cancer, it's going to rot your liver out, all this kind of stuff. It gives them a different perspective to look at. Talks about low-risk guidelines. Yes, you can drink alcohol, but you can do it in a responsible and safe manner. So that's why I love it. There's a workbook that goes along with it, and they just kind of work through that. Jay does a great job of presenting the information to the kids. So it's something that I think definitely benefits our students, and we need to keep going for our kids. So I don't know if anybody has any questions.
Yeah, is this a mandatory class?
Yes, it is.
It's part of our health curriculum.
Yep.
We do surveys with kids annually, several different surveys. This is kind of our report to the community. If you turn to the back, inside the second to last page, there's a Building Tomorrow survey. And basically, since I've been here, it asks the question, our goal is, one of our school goals is to decrease the percentage of 5th, 6th, 8th, and 11th grader students indicating alcohol use. That's one of our goals for our report to the community. Underneath there, if you look across alcohol, there's some 5th, 8th, and 11th grade percentages from 09 to 2011. I can tell you when I got here it was over 50%. In 08 and 09 it was at 45%. So we've seen a nice gradual decrease in the number of kids that say they're using alcohol. And I think a lot of it's contributed to the program that we have in place. So, do you have any questions maybe the kids can help answer, or we can help answer? Or?
So this is mandatory for our what grade?
For our ninth grade.
Freshman.
Ninth grade only?
Right. Yeah, all the freshmen have to take health, 9th grade health, as a requirement to graduate. And so we thought this would be a perfect time to implement this information, because we know all the kids are going to get it before they go any further in high school. So
It's a good time to catch
Probably a
it.
good time to catch them between middle school.
Yes.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, Dave.
I think Joel's on the Substance Abuse Coalition, aren't you, Joel?
No.
Oh, aren't you? Okay. I thought you were the one board member that was. Okay, well, anyway, this is coming from the Substance Abuse Coalition, what I'm going to say. Tim is part of our Substance Abuse Coalition as representing the schools, and Jim Luenzi, as a former school teacher, is on it from St. Ansgar. We have a variety of people that are on it. I have applied for a grant from from Shop and State for the workbooks for the program. And I did speak with Lowell after our last meeting, and Lowell, you said that they had put funding in.
Yeah, with substance abuse, we've got grand total of $3,600 in the budget.
And that's from whence we were asking for the money to come from for the Praying for Life, and the purpose of that was to pay for the instructor.
Basically, we're looking at about $3,000 for Osage and Rice to do instructor for the pro.
Your request is for
$3,000.
$3,000.
And you say you have it in the budget.
Yeah, substance abuse, we have,
Do we use that?
well, I don't know how much in this Bob Lincoln may use some.
I was gonna say, how much in that line item do we use for other,
And this was just for Osage, did you say?
Osage and Rice, so with
Osage.
intent, we're trying to get St. Ansgar on board yet too.
Okay.
We're working with them. They just haven't completely committed to doing the program yet.
years past, how much money have we used out of this line item?
I'd have to look and see if we've used it all or a portion of it. Of course, we used to have that with Prairie Ridge.
Right, Jay used to come, and we would do the match.
We haven't done that now for a
Between
couple of
the
years now,
state
but
grant.
that's ended, so.
I wonder about that drug
And
forfeiture
home-
stuff that Kurt has, can that be used for anything, do you know?
It can be used for anything Kurt will let you use it for, but I'll guarantee it.
Yeah, I know, I just didn't.
Which one?
know there's some
I'm sorry, Bob, which one did you say?
drug forfeiture, that's Kurt, the sheriff's department, but.
Yeah.
I'd have to
I don't know
talk to
about
him
drug
about it.
enforcement either, if that's something that could be used. But yeah, Home Health had taken that over that one year after we didn't go through Prairie Ridge.
Mhm.
And then they kind of stepped away from that.
You know,
Actually, they
there's
didn't
3,600
separate.
left in this after it was funded for 8,000, there's 3,600 left? Is that correct?
No, that's what was budgeted for.
Budgeted 8, or it just budgeted for 3,600?
Mhm. So you was gonna say something, Betty?
Well, I was just gonna say that actually, Home Health Care didn't step away from it. Levon didn't have time to do the grant last year, so that's why it didn't get done.
Okay. Thank
And
you.
we do have, Greg Beaver is on the Substance Abuse Coalition from the Sheriff's Department, and Brian Wright is the new Chief of Police is on it from the Osage.
Well, should we contact Bob Lincoln and see if he needs anything else, and then if he doesn't, then we'll proceed with this, try to get you what you need?
Are you,
Appreciate any consideration or any amount.
who else are you, lack of a better word, hitting up for funds? Is it, who else are you going to for funds?
The Shop on State, we're
Okay.
applied for a $1,000 grant for the workbooks there, and then if whatever we don't get, we've had some help from the Kiwanis or Lions Club in the past too, for workbooks and or funding, so,
Well, I was thinking like the cities.
yeah, we can look
And
at that too.
have you looked at any of that? I mean,
Not yet,
I know
we certainly will,
we're all in this together.
absolutely. Takes a village to raise our children.
That's right.
I guess the Substance Abuse Coalition, recommended going here because in the past you have had prevention money and because it was gonna benefit all 3 schools of the county.
Have you applied to the casino? I mean, they a lot of times,
Not yet, we certainly can do that too.
I think I'd like to see everybody explore all avenues before, but like, would you say we have to ask Bob?
Yeah, I have to check with Bob Lincoln, see if he needs funds out of this line item first. If he doesn't, you know, then we can proceed from there. But yeah, it'd be good, those are good ideas to check all that.
Betty, you're on the coalition, have you guys applied for grants to any of these other places?
That's where we've applied, Shopland State.
Yeah, but what about Worth County?
No, we have not.
Okay, the state have anything?
The state, we have a fund, but it can't be used for that particular purpose. There's just certain things that the state grant that we have can be used for. And if, Joel, if indeed we would applied for the other one, it could have been used for anything, and it was not. Levon simply said she did not have time last year to apply for the grant. And she's the one that would have applied, I mean, Deb Freeman always applied for it in the past.
Well, couldn't
whereas
somebody else on that commission do the legwork? And if she has to be the one to sign it, couldn't she sign it? I
We-
mean,
we
then,
didn't-
not
we-
only that, but you got, I mean,
We didn't know she wasn't applying for it until it was too late, Joel,
Pass
so
the
that
deadline.
was, you know.
so then we missed a year.
Right, next year we'll be in better shape.
Okay. Well, let's get all the sources together and see where we can go. I mean, that's, I think it should work.
Wanna try that and come back in a couple weeks or a week or whatever it takes you to check with the other people?
Foundation for the
And we'll check with
enhancement of
Bob
Metro
Lincoln.
County might be even that willing to throw some money at this.
Who's that?
The foundation for the enhancement, but I think though, that grant cycle's passed already.
I think it is, at DMC.
Yeah.
Just curious, with the students, what's your assessment of the program? Like both of you to comment.
I can make,
I'm Taylor Dahlman, and we both did the program last year, and I think I benefited from because I've learned like different, like the responsibilities and how you should handle it, and like how you can get sick, and there's just so many different like risk factors you take if you do alcohol and drugs, and it's just better if you stay away from that sort of stuff.
And I'm Lucas Moxted, and I did it last year as well. Like what I took from it was you need to be, the longer you go without alcohol, the less you have chance of being an alcoholic. And there's like, some people will think that like a wine glass full of alcohol or wine would be the same as a beer can, but it's like just a little bit of wine is the same as like one beer can.
The alcohol content's the same.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you.
is Jay the one that gave the presentation, or? is that-
Yes.
He's very good at what he does.
So if you check these other sources, Tim, and then.
We will.
Do you have one more of those?
I keep back there, I give you, ship back to the barn.
And then, you know, when you've got your answers, then give Lowell a call and get on the agenda again.
Okay, will do.
Okay.
Thank you much for your time.
Thank you.
You bet. Thank you for coming in.
Thanks for stopping in, it's interesting, it's like you always see.
Item number 3, County Attorney General discussion.
Okay, just what I have on that economic development, subdivision over there. I've got a hold of Ivan. He was supposed to get back to me, whether that was supposed to go to them or to Tim Hejhal. He hasn't gotten back to me, so until he gets back to me, that's just kind of sitting on hold. I don't know if that's a big rush to get that done or not, but it's sitting there for now.
I think we're all in agreement, that's what we wanna do, it's just a matter of working out the,
Yeah, just a matter
Nuts
of
and
getting the
bolts.
details.
Yeah,
Right.
so if anybody can push him along.
I'll get a hold of Ivan this week.
Okay. Mark's here on that
Nuisance issue.
roadie thing. I don't think they've made,
Nope, I checked it yesterday and there was no progress at all.
you want to go ahead and send out the notice to abate nuisance to them?
Yep.
And then they've got 30 days in which to abate the nuisance, and if they don't, then the county can go in, abate the nuisance, and assess it on their taxes. If that's what you guys want to do. Last one actually worked out quite well. Somebody bought the tax certificate, so, and that was $11,000.
On that other one, when do they actually get possession? You know, if they bought the tax certificate.
I think they bought it last in 2000 and, let me think, 11. So about March of 2013, if they wanted to, they could begin the paperwork to do it. They've got 3 years. You have to wait at least 18 months, and then you've got 36 months to complete it. So anywhere in that time period from June of 11. So that's how we'll handle that. They've got 30 days in which to do it, but why don't you send out a notice, make sure I get a copy, and
So what all are we looking at besides removal of the vehicles? Are we looking at,
the removal or licensing of the vehicles and the removal of, I would just put garbage which constitutes a nuisance on the property.
okay, there's not too much garbage, we should be able to get that, but as far as mowing and things like that, are we looking at doing that, or we're just?
Well, I mean, the weeds are,
I mean, is there a law that, do we have a county ordinance on mowing?
No.
Then can't make them mow it.
I mean, we have an ordinance at the health side, the Board of Health can, if it was deemed a public health hazard because it was harboring animals or something of that nature, but it's gonna be a little difficult to prove at this point.
This is in the county, right?
this is in the unincorporated city of Mona.
Well, basically, we're in the county.
Right.
Okay, and these weeds now. Where's our weed commissioner?
They're not,
Yeah, I don't think they're
right?
nuisance
they're not
weeds.
noxious weeds,
Yeah.
that's
No,
right.
not noxious.
They're just
Grass weeds.
grass weeds.
There's thistles and cockleburrs
Some
and
just-
ragweed.
No, it's just lawn overgrown. It's grass. It doesn't really have any, cockleburrs or anything like that
Yeah,
up there,
nothing
which I think the weed commissioner would be able to
And
enforce if it was
a natural setting.
Yeah,
So, what, on the cars, Mark, we're gonna need to have titles in order to junk them. Do you know how we go about?
we're not gonna worry about that yet. We didn't the last time we did a bunch of them.
Well, the last time we had cars was out in New Haven, and I don't think they required the license or the titles, but they will now, from what I've heard anyway. So,
Well, if we have to
but
go
we'll
get,
cross that
if we have to go
bridge.
get duplicate titles, we'll get duplicate titles. But then they're gonna want the title holder to sign them, they're not gonna do it, so.
No. I can't imagine doing. Okay.
I'll find a way to get rid of them.
All right.
That place up at McIntyre continues to fill up.
Which one are you talking about, the Ayers one?
Yeah,
Yeah, you can't even get back in, I can't really see what all's going back in there without going on the property, and I don't wanna do that.
Yeah.
In fact, he's even got his driveway blocked off from
Yeah.
being interest, so. But it does look like he's moving in more junk.
Has that been set for sale on foreclosure yet, do you know? Because I know they foreclosed on it finally.
Really?
That's been going on for about 5 or 6 years.
well, on that property up there.
They've been trying to foreclose.
I didn't know that.
And the order finally went through.
I was by there the other day last week,
Yeah.
and, whoa, they really filled that place up.
Where's that
No.
located at?
Oh,
About 2
used
miles,
to be John's place up there,
Augies.
east of, west of McIntyre.
about 2 miles west of McIntyre, on the north side of the blacktop. But you're not talking about his old place, are you? The one up on
Augie John's.
500th or 490th?
I might be.
Yeah, I think that's the place you're talking about.
I'm talking about where we used to live.
Yeah, that's
Oh, you're
his
talking
old
about a
place.
different place.
Yeah, he's got a new place now by McIntyre, which
Oh,
he's
I wasn't aware of that.
good.
The other one got filled up.
Didn't that Eggers buy the
Run out of
place of
places.
Augie's that used to be up on the state line and had the junk?
Now this one's, where do you get all this stuff? I mean, doesn't it cost money?
Apparently not much.
We'll get the letter out to him.
Thanks, Mark.
You bet.
Anything else
Yep.
for Mark? The attorney, Mark.
Oh,
Rich? Take the hot seat. All warmed up for you.
Mark,
Engineer update. Good morning, Rich.
No? Okay. I'll put that off the side then. Got some rain.
Yeah, quarter inch at our house.
Really?
Yep. Yeah,
Praise the Lord.
Hope we get more.
got it started now.
Is that for me?
Keep her going.
What's that?
Is that the-
Oh, you want that?
I'll take it.
that quarter inch won't be very far,
Bill for our curb stop.
but 15 inches deep.
That is east.
Where was that at?
North End, was it?
Could we have just one meeting in here, please? Show a little respect for the office, please.
Anyway, start off, the railroad is working on those rail crossings south by Orchard there, the ones that are really rough. They're replacing
Yeah, I
those.
see the road was closed
Yep,
last
they're
night.
working, I don't
know
remember
that
which one they're working on, they got one closed now and the sign's up for the other one, so I don't know how long it'll take, I think it'll be the rest of this week, but they'll get them done, so that'll make that drive a little bit better for everybody. Also, we've got the Addison shut down yesterday to tear out that pipe, we got the pipe tore out just south of
Down there by
Riceville there.
Whisper or,
Yep, we're detouring on Whisper,
Finally, that road comes into use.
yeah. Anyway, they got the pipe out yesterday, they're gonna grade it. I don't know if they'll start putting pieces back in today. I was surprised at how thick the pavement was down
How
there.
thick is it?
Very. I think what Jim Weary told me was that he remembers that could be a place where they did a cement treated base. When I looked at it, I thought it was a concrete slab underneath. But I bet there's at least 18 inches of road underneath there.
wow.
So it's, if that's a concrete road and then there's asphalt, I bet that structure is that thick, so. I'd be surprised if that road ever, I mean, I know that it's gotten rough before, but it surprises me how much is there.
Well, that's a good base.
Well,
Okay,
yeah,
on something like that, then when it come time to fix it, could you possibly, mill off 2 inches and put a lift on it?
I think that,
If you've got that great a base?
I think if we've got that much structure there, removing some of the old stuff and putting back new isn't gonna be a problem, depends on how good the stuff is. Now, that was just in the location of that culvert, and I don't know if maybe there was issues with that culvert and they just keep overlaying it, but if it's any indication of the rest of the road, it's a pretty thick structure under there. I'd say there's at least 10 to 12 inches, if not more, of asphalt there.
Gets a pretty good amount of traffic.
It
heavy
does,
traffic.
yep, it does.
Trucks.
Well, they could always do it on a core.
Yeah, you can always drill a core, but,
Maybe that's what a guy should do when some of these roads come up. I mean, see what the
Mhm.
actual core looks like and then
Yeah.
design for that.
yeah.
Just.
Yeah, I wish, I wish we had our own machine to do that, but we don't, and we wouldn't use it enough to justify owning one, but,
Well, maybe Worth County could borrow it. We have one, we could borrow it.
we,
You know the engineer over there?
I know his name. He's kind of a jerk.
Tanker store, huh?
We are, like I said, we got 4 guys out there on that pipe job, so that takes a little bit. I think we've got some blades out today, hopefully. I know there's some puddles sitting out there, so we don't want to work too much around them, but I don't think they'll last very long. So.
Not as dry as it is.
No, so I think there'll be a back out blade and hopefully this weekend we get a little bit more rain too, and then we'll hit those. I don't know if it's and somebody, you might argue with me, but it seems like a lot of the roads right now is just intersections that are washboarding. I don't think
They
there's a
are.
lot,
They really
there's not a
are.
lot of potholes out in the middle of nowhere, but it's a lot of washboarded intersections, so a little bit of moisture will help.
Yeah, we need this rain to get the rock seeded in.
Well, we got $500,000 of rock out there that needs to get locked down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That won't help when it's dry.
No, it won't.
You still need the moisture though.
Yep.
You don't have one of those, do you?
It's a big tiller.
Huh?
It's a big tiller. Are you looking at the
Oh,
roller
no,
or
I'm
the
looking
tiller?
at the compactor.
Yeah, we don't have one of those.
Yeah.
No. Well,
A roller type thing on the back of a.
I'm trying to think if we don't have a pull behind
Yeah.
wheel roller like that. And I'm not
That
sure,
would be kind of difficult to operate with that thing.
I think
It'd have
It
to
would
be
be.
a separate deal.
you'd have to, we have the John Deere tractor, but I think besides something like that, you can find, the asphalt type rollers that are the rubber tired rollers too, that'll do that. You probably find, all they do, they put a lot of dirt in them, and then,
Sure.
you always see them running around, they got weeds growing out of the top because they
Yeah,
load them with
yeah.
dirt, but,
Yeah.
and I don't know if that's, that might be something beneficial when we start regrading more gravels again, is if you put some compaction on it
Yeah,
like
when
that.
you dig out the ditches and
Mhm.
stuff, that would help to pack it down.
So, our radio, our two-way radios are updated, other than I've got the supplier coming in on Thursday. He's gonna reprogram all of our reprogrammable ones to narrowband, so then we'll be compliant by January 1 on the radio frequency stuff.
Okay, yeah,
So,
that's the date.
that's the deadline for being compliant, and I know we had our license switched over to narrowband already, so just a matter of getting the other radios. We've been operating on them, and they are a lot clearer than the old ones. In fact, if somebody's got the radio on in the truck, you can hear it. So,
Instead of the garbled message.
yeah, it's been pretty clear. There's gonna be some probably bugs to work out, because if we're gonna try to maybe do digital in the summer or something, we might work out some bugs, but for the most part, they went in pretty easy, so. Other than that, that's all we've got going on for maintenance.
Have anything on that culvert situation up there northeast of McIntyre? I called you last Friday.
Oh, yeah, I had Jim go, I was gonna go look at it. I don't understand how that pipe got put in that size.
Well,
And it doesn't appear that it's a wind tower driveway. It doesn't.
well, it was put in
At
for
that
the
time?
wind towers
So-
for that time.
It makes me wonder if it's not a temporary driveway.
Well, that's exactly my thought, because somebody said the Mennonites put it in, but the Mennonites farm that property, but they did not put the driveway in. When I talked to them, they said it was done for the wind towers at that time, and now the wind towers have access from the other,
They come from the east side.
east,
Yep.
yeah, the east side, they put in their roadway. So that may have been a
I
temporary.
just thought of that when when you just brought it up. I wondered if most of those wind tower driveways weren't supposed to be temporary,
And,
because that's,
and I was told the culvert wasn't big enough for the driveway, which, seeing as how it's about 75 feet from that stream that comes into the ditch, it probably isn't.
no, not from,
Because then that comes down the ditch a little ways and then it crosses back to
well,
the west.
consider downstream, we put 3 rail cars in,
Yeah,
about a
Yeah,
mile and a
right.
half south. Is it a mile and a half south of that?
yeah, yeah.
I mean, granted, a mile and a half is a lot more drainage area.
Well,
but-
no, actually about a mile.
Is it?
Mhm.
So, I
Yeah.
mean, it adds more drainage area
Yeah,
further
it-
south.
Chris,
but-
it goes west and across the road, and then it comes under 470th, and then
We'll look at,
crosses it back again. So
I'll see if if those were temporary driveways or not, and see if, otherwise, I don't know what they're gonna have to put. I mean, they're obviously gonna have to put something bigger in there to take that kind of drainage. I mean, I know it's on the high end, but I know it comes from the Howard County side too. There's a farm site north and east of there that it looks like it maybe starts right up in there, but that's got a heck of a
Yeah,
gully in there.
Yeah, there is a gully in there.
But we did pull off of that to go work on Addison, because we had that scheduled to be closed, and we don't
Okay.
wanna start something, we don't wanna
Sure,
start Addison
sure.
in the middle of the week, so.
No, that's
we
a
get-
major thoroughfare that needs to be done.
If we get back to it, which I think we will, we'll get it cleaned back up, and then we'll check into that driveway.
What are we doing on tractor and mower situation?
I finally got an email back, so I'm gonna put some specs together for a new tractor, bid locally, and then we'll send it to Don. We already got, what it's gonna cost for a new diamond mower, side mower is, oh, darn it, like $16,000 or $18,000 for us, and that's, but with the new Tier 4 tractors now, and I don't know how they handle it, but the oil tank usually is on the side, and it makes a good counterweight, but with Tier 4, they've got all that exhaust and all that Tier 4 crap on that side, that
On the other side.
now they're putting the tanks in the front. So I don't know how they counterweight tractors now, or if they really need that much of a counterweight, but we're putting specs together now to send out to the locals.
How big would that mower be?
I'm gonna get there's only like an $800 difference between the 60 and the 72 inch, so I'm gonna go with the 72 inch.
Oh,
It'll
so
match
probably a
our,
6-foot mower, that shouldn't be too much of weight then,
no, well,
I wouldn't think. You put some more wheel weights in. or-
we put fluid in the tires, and I think we take the the inside tire, and we turn it around to give it a better stance
Mhm.
on the outside, so.
Is that gonna be front wheel assist? or
I'm gonna buy
four-wheel
one,
drive?
I'm not, yeah, I know that the two-wheel drives are a lot cheaper, but I think sometimes it's, you can get yourself out of a lot of trouble.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
and if we're gonna go down in the ditches to mow too, it's just that handy to have something that'll
Yeah.
pull you back out.
Yeah, I think so.
So
Agree.
that's, and I'm guessing the whole unit, all said and done, is gonna be about $80,000. I mean, it's not gonna be cheap, but
No.
But you got some of the insurance money for this
we did
year.
get our insurance money back.
You did?
22,500, just got the check today, and then the insurance company's coming to pick that tractor up this week. Finally,
Got any other junk, just pile it with it.
we can make some money out of it. That reminds me, we've got some pickups that I'm thinking of seal bidding, do a seal bid on, get rid of them. We've got the old Ford Ranger and then the pickup that Jim Weir used to drive. Doesn't get driven very much anymore. It's got like 220,000 miles on it. Not that it's a bad pickup, but we just don't use it. We don't need it sitting around, so we'll do some sealed bids and we'll get rid of the engineer's car too, as long as we're.
Anything else we need to get rid of?
Yeah, and we're gonna do that with an online auction with the heavier stuff.
Okay.
And I've had them in Worth County to come help set up the site to sell it on. We just have to get in, and he's gotta come back down here and help me take pictures of the stuff we have now, so we can get it on an online site that way and do it. See where the equipment ends up. But I, like, for the cars and things like that, we could just as well sell them locally. I can't imagine anybody in California is interested in a 96 Ford Ranger. So,
Maybe the
you
economy-
never know, but
Maybe the economy's bad out there.
I think there's plenty, we could get rid of them easy around here too, probably.
Yeah,
So how many miles is on that thing?
The little Ranger, I'm trying to think of what, it was like 140,000 maybe on that one. I have,
Is that the one that Hyde used to drive?
I drove it first and then Hyde had it toward the end
I
there.
think the front end's about 4.
Oh, we put
You put some new ball joints and
some
stuff?
shocks in the front of it, it's got some tires on it.
Okay,
Only thing wrong is the cruise control buttons are wore out on the steering wheel.
yeah.
They cruise, but they don't have the covers are wore off of them, so you actually hit the button. But anyway, that's what we're gonna be doing this week. I've got
Okay.
some,
Hey, anything else for Rich?
I see in the claims Bauer built tires. They're not local? Or, I mean, what,
the Bauer builds, I think, are motor grader tires.
okay, I mean, but we can't get them locally through,
Well, I don't know that for sure. I guess we've always gone through them to get them. I can find out for sure. How big was that claim? That was probably, because they're about $1,800 a piece.
There were several dollars.
and maybe it's something the locals don't want to do.
Just about
either, but,
2,500. 2,500, so that would have been, unless they were on retreads. There was some last month too, from Bauer built. I'd have to look at the size again. Yeah, that's one tire at $2,000, so that's.
Or did they bring them in from there and then put them on? Or who puts them on? Do you guys model?
We get them, we buy them, and we put them in our warehouse, and when we need one, I think we go to Wold's and have them put them on the rim,
Mhm.
and then we put them on the machine ourselves.
Thought there was something like that happened once before too, that you had to get the tires from somebody else
Yep.
and then they put them on for you.
I mean, most of our truck tires are retreads, when we can get them retread, we do, but I don't, and some, I'm trying to remember if some of the motor grader tires are actually retreads too. I think they are,
I
but
see you had a claim in there for some retreads, but,
I can find out, but I know we get all of our tires, even in Worth County, through Power Mill too, with that big a tire. I'll check.
because we do have the two,
Yeah, we've been using Breeze, and we've been using even Nicholson up here too for some stuff. And we do use Wold's quite a bit.
then chemicals. I see, roads paid $2,339 for chemicals, and then also, weed commissioner $1,560 for chemicals. But, I take it yours was, spraying,
We got the brush cutter out right now, so we're cutting brush, and that's what that's for.
Because I get a little concerned, I mean, so often, you'll clip that little brush, and it seems like there's nothing ever put on them, and then 2 years later, you got 3 times more brush coming up, and I mean, we're just adding to our problem if we're not,
The brush cutter emits that chemical out of it, so it
I
should
know
be
it's
hitting.
supposed to.
And it should be, I guess, depending on what it's cut with. I know sometimes in the fall, we'll go out with our gravel mower and he'll knock the brush down, and that doesn't have the chemical applicator on it, so that might be locations where that happens, but we're just trying to knock it down. And then if it starts growing back again, yeah, it comes back with a vengeance, but then we go out with the brush cutter after that and try to knock it down and kill it when we have the time.
But even when they're cutting in the fall, winter time, are they using like tore down and that?
Yep, yep. When we did all that brush cutting last winter, they sprayed every stump. Yep.
Anything else for Rich?
The road drummer, you got any information on all that? Where you can get them?
Yeah.
I'll stop off.
Okay. Do you want to borrow it to see what it does?
We might. How would we get it out? Just pull behind the truck?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll mention it. That'd be worth it.
You can, I don't, if you guys don't have a problem with them borrowing it, I don't see what it does out there. I
A
know,
little bit, won't hurt nothing.
I know conservation, we're trying to borrow ours to get their roads shaped up too. Now, I don't know that they put, if it's got that big rock on there, it's not gonna do anything for you. If you have inch
We
and a
did
half
have it-
road stone and
We
stuff.
did have it gravelled last year, and I'm thinking maybe if we do it one more time, then maybe something like that would work.
Yeah.
And you mentioned you can get them smaller
You
sizes.
can. You can run this one without the wing up too, so it'll be about 8 foot, 9 foot.
Gets me chuck holes and stuff, and if they could just, they got a tractor there, and
It won't do
Easily.
anything, it'll be harder on the equipment if you got that 3-inch baseball stuff down. You won't spread that at all.
no, but that's the base.
Yeah,
But there's
yeah.
regular gravel.
If you got regular gravel on there and you got moisture, it'll,
Okay.
give it a try if you want. I know they got a little tractor out there, I don't know.
No, we got a big one now.
Do you? Okay.
160 horse.
Go big or go home.
That's right. Anything else for Rich?
Nope.
All right,
Thanks a lot, Rich.
have a good week.
Thank
Pray
you.
for rain.
Yeah. Item number 6 is approval of the minutes.
I read them, I had.
Oh, give me a chance to scan.
Okay.
I'll second Stan's motion. That was a motion, right?
We have a motion and a second to approve the minutes from October 2nd. Roll call vote, Walk.
Aye.
Wolflander.
Aye.
Morale. Aye. Motion carried. Item number 7, approve the auditor's report. $317.65.
Make a motion to approve the auditor's report.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the auditor's report, quarter ending September 30th. Roll call vote, Wolflander.
Aye.
Walk.
Aye.
Morale. Aye. Motion carried.
Apologize, I forgot to put the claims on the agenda.
I noticed that.
Yeah, I didn't notice it either, but it's supposed to be on there, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
You want a motion to put it on there?
We better go back and add it on.
Too much going on with elections, yeah.
Well, I'll amend the amended agenda to add approval of the claims.
Second.
Motion and a second to amend the amendment.
Well, there's nothing controversial in the claims, and so if there
Yeah,
was
there
one,
really
then I
isn't.
think we'd have had to.
Yeah, it's just
There really isn't.
pay the
Oh,
bills.
I apologize.
So, roll call vote, Wolflander.
Aye.
Walk.
Aye.
Morale. Aye. Motion carried. Okay, now the approval of the claims.
Guess they're signed.
Need a motion to approve the claims.
Oh, I did.
That was to approve, change your
Motion.
agenda.
Yeah, all right.
So move.
Stan,
I'll second.
Have a motion and a second to approve the claims. Roll call vote, Walk,
Aye.
Hoaglander,
Aye.
Morale, aye, motion carried. Items of note.
I had NICOG meeting, and basically, the only two things that we approved a couple of loans up there, one for Metal Craft and another for Osage River Egg. And other than that, why, meeting was short and sweet yesterday.
I had FMC Early Childhood Iowa last night in Charles City. It was kind of a lengthy meeting. We had went over the financials first, and then we went over several RFPs from providers, the EAGLE program, Learning Connections program, Child Care and Resource program, and the Head Start program, and decided how to divvy up the money. So after 3 hours, we got it figured out. That was the meeting I had.
I didn't have any official meetings, but I did do a lot of running around last week for the county.
I'm sure we all did
Yep.
a little bit.
Oh, yeah, you know,
A little bit. Let's see, clerk of court report. $2,461.87. So noted.
Okay, item C, I've been trying to deal with Iowa Department of Transportation for the last 11 months up on the Mona curve up there. Basically, the DOT has property that they're no longer using, and they're willing to abandon it. The only problem is that the previous property owner may have first dibs. But in the meantime, basically, as this process is going through, and it's not a big piece, I really don't see that anybody else would want it. But in the meantime, the DOT said if we want to go ahead and erect a billboard, that they would allow us to put up a billboard. And I know, talking to Brenda, she has been interested in trying to utilize something to promote the spec building in St. Ansgar. And I would like to talk to the REC today to see if they would be willing to assist on either donating poles and setting them, and if we can get the poles set, it wouldn't be, I don't think, that difficult to frame it. And there is a company in Mason City that does billboards. They would sell us the material to actually come up with our picture.
And we'll fund the marketing and the actual piece from our budget and our marketing dollars on the spec building, so it would just be more or less.
Is there a certain spec that they require for their billboard, if they make billboard? I mean,
The biggest one they make is 24 feet by 60 feet.
I'm not talking about the
Alright.
biggest one.
No,
They'll make whatever you want.
yeah, they'll make whatever we want. So, I mean,
Okay.
and basically it's, printed plastic is what it is.
Okay.
And, but it must be really heavy duty. And,
How big a piece of ground is that? Just probably a pie shape or triangle or
yeah, it,
a quarter acre or less?
It's right there on that curve, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is
you,
it on the curve, first curve coming from the north, or on the one going back east?
yeah, the highway comes like this. You have that little, road,
Oh, it's on Foothill then?
basically, well, it would be this little piece in here.
Okay, it's not the north one, it's the east curve, not the west curve.
It'd be on the west side of the road.
Yeah, but I mean, the curve is the west curve, not the east, or it's the east curve, not the west curve.
I thought it was east.
There's only one curve there.
No, there's two curves.
So you
Or
come
about a
down
mile
from-
east there is.
You come down from.
Oh, yeah, I mean,
You come down
it's right
from-
at the Mona turn.
You
Right
come
at the
down
Mona
from-
corner.
Coming out of Lyle.
Yeah, well, that's kinda backwards, Bob.
Huh?
You're talking about the one at Mona.
right at Mona.
Yeah, oh, it's gonna be right at Mona, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
Well,
you-
north is lower down there then.
North is to the right. The west
yeah,
is
this
up.
would,
If you're looking up, it's.
yeah, this would be,
That's going
this
to,
would be going to Lyle.
yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Oh,
Okay, all right.
I was thinking going to
That's-
St. Andrews.
I'm looking at the map.
I was looking at that too. Okay.
So it's at the Mona, it's at the west curve, not the east curve, not on.
Right.
It's going
More
on
toward
trip of my
Echo.
life. Reading
And
that.
now the railroad track would be right here.
Sure, yep.
All right.
That's kind of what I thought, but when you started drawing it that way, I looked over here to see the east one. No, that's fine with me, I think that'd be a good place. A lot of traffic.
And like I said, I think there'll be lots of things over time we can promote on that bulletin board. I mean, generally, a great place to live, but right now what's on my mind is moving a spec building, and when we sell that spec building, then we can move that to another community to do that project, so.
So just recess until then. Meet at County Care at 9:45.